just this time last year, I did not even know that I was going to be moving abroad. I knew that I was interested in it. I knew it was something that I wanted to do because I think I got the idea back in maybe like 2017 to kind of get serious about it. But it's something I always wanted to do since childhood. But I did not know that in May of 2024, that May of 2025, I would be living in a whole new country. So I'm saying this to say, just because you have not decided just yet does not mean it's not too late to decide now and be out by 2026. We are only a few short months away, so you can go ahead and start getting your game plan together. Hey girl, my name is Ebony. This is Embodied Playgirl, where we focus on getting free, however that means to you. And today what I want to talk about is why you should be making moving abroad your next most important priority as a single mom or a solo female traveler. I'm a single mom. I have a teenager. And I'm not going to say I didn't think it was possible because I've always had a pretty expansive mindset. But I don't know if I thought it would be this good. This month would make, I think, 3 months going into 4 soon of me living in Mexico, and I am immensely enjoying it. Let me tell you, the initial plan, right, was to move to Mexico only until like July. And the only reason why we did that is because my teen was really obsessed over, friends and getting back to my friends and getting back to the norm, that she just said, listen, I'll throw you this rope so you can enjoy some time and do something that you want to do. But here's my boundary. I want to be back to go to public school. So I took that and I ran with it. Matter of fact, it was September of 2024 when I reintroduced the idea to her. I initially said something to her about it when she was 13, I want to say. So that might have been like 2021 or so. And she was completely against it. And I didn't think I had enough money to live and survive, but actually I did. I was just really scared. But anyway, when she gave me that green light, I took it and I freaking ran with it. September, we agreed. October, I scheduled our passport appointments. November was our actual passport appointments after multiple cancellations because I kept losing stuff. My mind was all over the place, right? And then December, we got our passports. December, we also got our airline tickets. January, we did our packing of our apartment. February, we were gone. And that's the kind of clarity that your vision has to give you when it comes to moving abroad or doing anything in this life. And I'm here to tell you why it's so important that you do it, because there is some nuggets that you did not even know existed on the other side of taking that leap. And we're going to go over them. So number one is the emotional lesson that it teaches your child. So if you're living in the U.S., then your kids are schooled by a school system that is truly focused on making them an employee or a worker. And when I say employee or worker, I'm talking like warehouse job, like run-of-the-mill 9 to 5, like not even in a space where you probably would have to absolutely work 2 jobs in order to make it. And I know millions of Americans work these kinds of jobs, and they are definitely needed. But I know as a parent, you probably want better. You want more for your kid. Maybe that doesn't include going to college, because college isn't everything. Sometimes all you need is a trade to make 6 figures. So it's not about that. It's about your child seeing the kind of life that they can possibly have. And and when you decide that you're going to pick up and change the whole trajectory of what they thought life was, it will give them that gusto to do the same thing in their lives. They're going to have great stories to tell everyone they know about that sacred year when you made that decision and things changed forever. They're going to have a sense of confidence, a robustness of their spirit, because you put that in them, right? And I just think that's so amazing. So I decided to do this. And at the time, my daughter was going to school like having to get up at 5 a.m. just to get on the bus in time, just to get to school, get home, usually have some type of practice with sports, be tired and, doom scroll for like 2 hours before going to bed. And now my kid has the space and capacity to the point where she has picked up a new, like, creative yet lucrative hobby. And she is starting her own business and her own YouTube channel just this month. She's already hosting classes on teaching people how to do what she does. So I'm just saying, I would have never expected to see that in my kid last year. But when you make such a pivotal change, they start to realize that, hey, maybe I can do this too. And they can. Number 2, there's a freedom that exists in another country that you did not even know existed. Like, you probably have a mindset of what you think it would be like, or how you think you would move, what you think you would do, but you have no idea. Dependent upon where you choose to live, it can make your life so seamless and so easy and so breezy and enjoyable. Picture this. You're at work, things get a little hectic and stressful, but on your lunch break, that's 1 hour long, you take a 7-minute walk. And in that 7-minute walk, you find yourself at the beach. And at the beach, maybe you have on a bathing suit or maybe you don't, but you put your feet in the water. And someone walks up with fresh fruit and coconut juice, fresh coconut juice, and you buy it. And you decide to just sit in the sand for a little bit with the water washing up on your feet and sip your coconut juice. And just 10 minutes before your lunch break is over, you walk your 7 minutes back home, you get inside, you have a sip of water, you take a deep breath, and you finish the rest of your shift. Doesn't that sound like a freaking vacation? Like, when you have that kind of luxury to do those kinds of things, it can change your freaking, it changes your whole mental fortitude when it comes to how you look at work, how you look at life. I remember being able to plan a beach trip twice a year, maybe once a year, maybe once every 2 years. I remember those times too. And now going to the beach and having a coconut water and some fresh sliced mango is a part of my new reality. I can do it whenever I want to, even if I want to do it before work. It's amazing. Or to get off work at 4 p.m. or whenever you get off work and have time to go to the cafe 1 over, the restaurant 1 over, just to get a glass of wine and sip and meet people like you and laugh and joke and be merry and enjoy yourself and then come home and relax, right? To say, oh, I got to clock in at 9, so I'm going to leave out at 8, go to my local cafe and get a pastry and a coffee. I did not have that kind of flexibility. My kid did not have that kind of flexibility prior to making this move. We had to choose when we did those things very strategically because we had to drive there. So that's another thing. You're moving to a new country. You can choose somewhere way more walkable. These countries were built up long before America. So they have walkable cities that we don't necessarily have as much in America. And so you don't even need a car. That's another amazing thing. I was able to just go back a week ago and I went back and sold my 2024 vehicle, my brand new, fresh baby off the lot. I went back and sold it. If you would have asked me this last year, would I have done that? I would have said absolutely not. But now I see a new way of living that's like, oh, you don't actually need this to enjoy and experience life? Okay, pretty cool. And it's amazing, and you can enjoy life just like that. Absolutely just like that. So there's going to be some moments of freedom, some moments of solitude, some big exhales, some eureka, epiphany moments that you will have just by going to that other country, just by living there just a little bit. Even if you have to work, it's still going to open you up more than you ever thought. Matter of fact, I work more, I'm not going to say more, I work the same amount here as I did in America, yet it feels completely different. It doesn't matter if you still have to punch in and do a job. So what? You get to expand and expound and do things you've never done. If you're not a person who is used to community like me, I'm learning to be a part of community and enjoy community, because I've always had to do everything alone. But now I'm entering into these communities where I'm supported and I'm cared for, and people ask about me and inquire about me. If they haven't seen me in a while, they wonder where I am. If my daughter is out and about and they see her, they say hello. That exists in places that you would probably not even think that it exists in. But that leads me to number 3. Number 3 is you meet people who are just as free as you are, if not freer. So when that happens, they typically have a certain mindset. They have a certain level of awareness, a certain expectation, a certain luxury that they walk in and carry with them that opens them up to even bigger and newer and more creative ideas that you may have never even fathomed before. But just being in their energy is going to put you in a space of, wow, I can see that for myself. I can, I can have that. Living in certain countries may also mean that you can afford things that you couldn't afford before. You can afford a freaking nanny. And give her a livable wage. So you're creating jobs for someone else in another country. You can have a chef for not a lot of money, or you can go out to eat every day. I used to cook all the time, and then I stopped cooking as much in 2022ish or so, and it was getting kind of difficult, because now I gotta buy Uber, or I gotta go out and get this food every day. Where I am now, it's affordable. I can afford to do that. I can afford to patronize local business in my area and actually have good, nutritious, home-cooked food, right? That's important to me. Being in community with people who have these big ideas, who are doing these amazing, incredible things, that's important to me. Matter of fact, that leads me to number 4. My kid gets to be friends with the free thinkers' kids. So my kid is not having a community built off of being fear-based. My kid actually gets to have a community built off of, what else can you do? What more can you do? What else can you dream up? What else can you have? This is normal. This is normal to live in another country, to see new things, to go to a different school, to learn a new language, to commune with people who look differently, to have fun, to rejoice, to embody, to be free, to relax. This is our normal. And that was not our normal back home. Of course, there were some friends here and there, but everybody was so strict and structured or completely burned out that no one had time for one another. Here, people have time for one another. You meet new people and they're on the same wavelength as you. You don't have to go around trying to convince anybody why living abroad or any other higher thought forms or ideas is a good idea. They simply get it. They simply get it. And that's important, right? That's the kind of life that you can only dream of, but it could be a reality. So if we are in the middle of 2025 and you make this decision this month, and depending on what you do to, garner the funds for it by 2026, you could be up out of here. I didn't even know this kind of freedom existed. My kid, because we live in a walkable area, she could just go out with her friends and go have coffee a block away. I never thought that existed. Matter of fact, in America, I would never allow her to do that. Walking away, like, no. But this city is so walkable. Why not? Or, I don't know. Like, matter of fact, a few days ago, she went to the grocery store. She picked up a steak, some butter, some peppers, things we needed for dinner, and some eggs for breakfast. She got all those things on her own and brought them home. She's never done anything to that extent, maybe some bread or something. And I was out in the car waiting for her, but she walked there, did it, paid with her card, and came back home. It's going to teach your kids a level of self-sufficiency that they don't have to wait until they're away at college to learn. You can hold their hand right now and show them how to live, walk, and breathe a life of interdependence. So I hope this was a helpful video for you. If you have any questions about moving abroad, or you need an exit plan or strategy, please go on YouTube, look for this information, Google. All of these things are very helpful resources. One of my favorite resources is StephaniePerry and Roshida. They are excellent resources. Also, Picky Girl Travels the World. They are so helpful at teaching you how to get out and enjoy a life that you didn't think was a possibility for you, right? I'll make sure I link their channels below, but if you need a strategy call where you need help deciding, you need help finding that emotional balance to even make the decision, because it starts in the mind first, I'll also include a link below to where you can book a strategy call with me, and over the 60 minutes, we'll make a exit strategy, a plan, and I'll even give you a recap. We can do a recording, whatever you need to make sure you are in the best possible position to make your next step your best step and actually move abroad and enjoy your freaking life. Life is about more than clocking into work, cooking dinner, and going to bed. And you know that, and you feel that. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.